Good afternoon and welcome to Orpington Baptist Church. It's great to see you, although I can't actually see you.
I can't actually see a thing.
I can't see you at all.
Did you actually manage to see through that thing to press record?
Yeah, I can see a little bit through my mask. But
Am I looking at you?
Because it's COVID, you've got to cover your eyes.
No, it's mouth.
Oh, it's mouth.
Mouth, Phil. Mouth.
Oh,
But we are the
we're
distance away that we're
it's
supposed
okay.
to, so we're allowed to do it like this.
Good afternoon. I'm really pleased that today we can be on screen with, it's not just me and John today, it is me, John, Hannah and Bev. Hi Hannah, hi Bev, how are you guys doing?
Very well, thank you. How are you guys?
Yeah, we're really well, we're really excited to get the opportunity to speak to you today. And just see how life is at uni. I've been more fortunate than others because I get to speak to Hannah and Bev fairly frequently. We Zoom every other week, and we're doing the prayer course, which is great. But you're stuck at your bases now. And Bev, you're at York, aren't you?
Yes, I'm a fellow tier 2.
So you're tier 2 now as well.
I am tier 2. Yeah.
Okay, did that start recently? It did, didn't it?
Same time as London.
Oh, same time as London. Okay, right. But it's a lot worse for Hannah. Hannah, I understand you're going back to the old days of March. What's that going to be like?
Yeah. Well, I don't think we have the same tier system as England because I'm in Cardiff.
Right.
So 6 o'clock tomorrow, everything closes, and I'm only allowed to go Lidl.
So bars, restaurants, they're all closing.
Yeah, bars, restaurants. Yeah. I'm only allowed to go shopping, and I'm allowed to go to uni for my 1 hour a week.
Wow, that is the rate of coronavirus quite high in Cardiff?
I mean, this week and last week especially, I've noticed more people that I know have been isolating. But I wouldn't say. I mean, I can't say that I don't know the figures, to be honest.
No, it's so frustrating for you as well, isn't it? Because I know you became an aunt a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Your brother had a little boy called Oscar.
Yeah.
And I guess you may have seen him on FaceTime, but that's it. Is that as good as it gets?
Yeah. I had a FaceTime. No, I never met him.
Wow.
Because when he was born, we were in like a local lockdown, so I haven't been able to leave Cardiff since about the end of September.
Oh.
Goodness. And you're still not allowed out of Cardiff then?
No.
You're a prisoner in Wales.
But you don't sound like one. You haven't picked up the accent yet.
Yes. Pick up the accent. I love the Welsh accent. Because Don Benjamin is obviously Welsh. He comes in. When he reads, I love it. He's just got such a beautiful way of... I just love
just
the Welsh
rolls
accent.
off the tongue.
It does. It's so nice. Come back with a Welsh accent. We'll like you even more.
Okay.
Bev, I'm not sure a Yorkshire accent will suit you though.
Yeah, no.
So I just wanted to speak about how you guys are finding uni in lockdown, because obviously you came back when lockdown hit in March, and now you're back. Uni is, I guess, a bit all over the place, but also from a Christian Union point of view, is there anything going on, Bev? What's it like up there?
So I'm quite involved in my church here. I haven't got super involved in the Christian Union, but with my church, unfortunately, they're not meeting in person, which I have to say is a shame, because I love coming back to OBC. I know it wasn't quite the same, but it was more or less you still feel the community spirit. So I've been watching my York Church services online, and prior to tier 2, I had an arrangement. So my friend and I decided to watch it together. So it's in the afternoon, evening, and so we'd alternate whose houses it was, and we'd cook dinner for each other.
Nice.
So we had a really great system
Nice.
going, and I also think it's helpful if you're with a friend, because then you have to engage.
Yeah, definitely.
So we had a great system going, but then we're in different households, so that's kind of mucked it up a little bit. But
and what church is it? Is it similar to the way OBC kind of operates, or is it different?
Yeah, I would say so, yeah. So it's called G2. I think it's associated with the Church of England.
What does G2 mean? Is there a reason for G2?
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I should know this. My parents were asking me this too, but I don't know.
Is it something like
but yeah, it's been a bit tricky.
G7. G7 is...
What's G7?
I don't know.
The 7...
Just as G8,
nations
isn't it?
and is it
Those are
G8?
the big nations.
Anyway,
So they're not meeting. Did they ever open again since coronavirus, or has it stayed closed throughout?
No. So they like rent the premises. They don't own the premises, and I think it's to do with that.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, sure.
But they do small groups, which is like life groups.
Yeah.
And so they were beginning to happen and back in person. So my friends and I are actually running one. But of course, with this new rule, it now has to be on Zoom. It's a shame because we were doing it in groups of 6.
Yeah.
And so last week we were able to meet, but this week it's going to be on Zoom, which is such a shame.
Yeah, it's a shame, but at least we still can meet on Zoom. And I think it's been a challenge, isn't it, adapting to being a Christian online? Because I think that's ultimately what most of us have been doing, isn't it, the last 6 or 7 months. Hannah, what about you in Wales? I mean, if it's even more strict with lockdown, what's life like there as a Christian and churches?
So
and
the church that I sort of went to last year, I think they went back in person. I never went back purely because I don't want to sit on my own because I'm not in a household with anyone else that is a Christian. I just didn't fancy sitting on my own for an hour. So I watch OBC services every Sunday morning still. Just because I can't let go, really.
And let's be honest, the standard is much better than anywhere else.
I can't say I've watched the other one to compare, but I love OBC services.
Yeah, good answer.
But yeah, and then on the Christian Union front, it's a bit annoying because I work on Thursday nights, which is when my Christian Union runs, so I can't really join in with their stuff.
Would that all be online still as well?
All of the Christian Union stuff was online. I think they did have they had small groups and things again in the groups of 6, so people could meet up and stuff. So they were starting to do a bit more sort of outreach stuff to try and do sort of like a freshers. We don't obviously have freshers week, so they were doing some more outreach like scavenger hunts. Obviously now we can't.
And but as of tomorrow, obviously you can't go out at all. But prior to that, could all of you as a household go out or not?
We could, but you had to leave one person behind because I live in a house of 7. So
that's the problem, isn't it? Especially in a social environment when you're building friendships and all that. To leave one out is really difficult, isn't it?
So have you just been getting takeaways then?
Yeah, we tend to do when people were moving in bits, we'd go out, and then I think as soon as it became the 7, we just tended to stay in and order.
Yeah.
Just because it's easier.
That sounds like a dream, actually, to me.
I live next door to the Chinese takeaway as well, so it's great.
Just brilliant. And Bev, are you a household of 6 or 7?
I'm a household of 6.
So have you been able to go out together? Is that allowed?
Bits and bobs, but it's just all a bit strange. It's just all very strange. I've gone out with some friends a couple of times, but not loads, I have to say.
I'm guessing uni life.
It's just also strange. It's not the same.
Yeah, I'm guessing uni life isn't the crazy party lifestyle that it once may have been perceived to be.
I bet your parents feel very safe, though.
Over the moon. What's happening then in terms of your lectures and your studies? How's that working, Bev?
So for me, all my lectures have been online, which I actually have found I've made much better notes because you pause it and you carry on writing your notes. So I feel like I'm probably doing better for it, which is quite strange. So most of my seminars have been in person. Okay. However, that's changing as of next week. So they're all going to be online for next week, which is such a shame.
And
so
what about your rowing? Because I know you're part of the rowing club there, aren't you? And very
so that's everything's still going ahead, which is amazing. It's
that's
so great,
weird, isn't it? That your lectures are going ahead online, but you can still get in a boat with a load of other people and row.
Yeah, so we around like the boathouse and like getting the boats in and out of the water, you have to wear a mask. But the minute you are like moving, you can take your mask off, and like the cops will wear a mask.
Wow!
But because we're an outdoor sport, it's quite good.
Yeah, and are you competing?
And even
at
like
all?
our
How's it
land
all work
training
with rowing then. any competitions going on, or is it just practice at the moment?
No, so there are no races, unfortunately. So it's just training. But like we're kind of like finding ways around it. So like when we just on the rowing machine, like land training, doing like the tennis dome, which technically counts as being outside. So it's just nice to get out of the house.
Yeah,
that's what's getting me out of the house most days.
Yeah. And Hannah, is it the same with you in studies?
Yeah, I have 1 hour in person, which strangely is still happening, I believe, even though we're going into total lockdown. I'm allowed to go into a room full of strangers and do maths. But that's also at 9 o'clock on a Friday morning. I don't know who came up with that.
Is that early?
Sometimes.
Is that early?
Yeah. And the fact is now, with online lectures and things, you could have something at home at 9, but you can roll out of bed at 8:45, or even later if you prefer. But if you need to get into uni, it's not too far. It's like a 10-15 minute walk down the road.
But you've got to look a little bit more presentable. You can't just wear your pyjamas.
Yeah. But with sort of I do dance and stuff. So we finally were able to come back for 2 weeks. And now we've had to close again for 2 weeks. But it's very strange. Our class sizes had to half, and you have to wear your mask, and there's a little square on the floor, and you have to wear your mask until you get into your square, and then you can take it off.
Wow, okay. I can see a little bit.
Ways around. I can imagine what they called civil servants saying, right, what do we do about this one then?
Trying to work out every possible scenario.
Especially the rowing, right, when they get it in, mask on.
Yeah.
How
funny.
I mean, the coxes have to wear goggles. It's crazy.
What, because of COVID?
Yeah.
I guess that's because they're looking at everyone that rowing.
Yeah, because
Isn't that the coxes are at the front facing you, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're generally quite short people, aren't they?
Yeah.
And Hannah, I know you're working for Explore there. Is that all online tuition again?
I am. I've been online ever since March. There's some people did go, our centre reopened back in August, but again had to close. So we had a meeting this morning about everything that's going to happen for 2 weeks whilst we all have to stay in.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of time at my desk.
Yeah.
Which isn't fun.
Yeah. How have you been guided by God in the last 7 months? Because you've been back and forth, into lockdown, out of lockdown, back at uni, very isolated. Have you felt God's presence with you, or has it felt a little bit lonely at times, Hannah?
I wouldn't say I feel like lonely. When we were doing sort of the academy stuff in lockdown, I remember you said, guys, it's going to be the last week, and I sort of said no, just because that's something that I really enjoyed, was sort of seeing everyone every week or every 2 weeks now, and that's sort of been something that I really look forward to, seeing everyone, and the prayer course has been really good for me, even though you all take the mickey out of me for taking notes.
No,
she takes notes.
It's amazing. Hannah is one of the most organised people I know. Her diary is spot on. She showed us her calendar. Actually, Hannah, show us your diary. It's amazing, your calendar.
Not the private journal-y calendar.
No, not that. I don't want to hear what she's saying about me. But it's...
Oh, jeez. It's all colour-coded.
Colour-coded calendar is.
By the way, we're looking that way because that's the screen.
Yeah. Look at that.
Whoa.
What's cis mean?
That's like my secondary school kids at work.
Oh, that's a work thing, is it? Oh, okay, so the blue stuff's work. Yeah,
work is in blue.
Hannah's super organised, but she's making notes during the prayer course, which I really applaud, actually.
Do you know what, Hannah? I would. High five.
I tell you what, yeah.
Hi, Zoom 5.
Zoom 5. And we were obviously doing that course for the main body of the church on Thursdays. We're doing it tonight, actually. And I'm not sure if other people are making notes, but I've found myself watching them over again because they're such good videos. But I guess when you're making notes, it's really good because he gives such good analogies, actually, Pete Craig. I think it can help us all spiritually as well as prayerfully as well. And Bev, is it the same for you with how God's guided you? How have you felt over the last, this year really?
Yeah, I think it's tricky. And I think initially with lockdown, adjusting to being back home together and everyone, lockdown was hard, but I think you kind of get into your rhythm of what sort of works. I really, really enjoyed the Zoom calls. I think Hannah and I we both enjoyed them. Oh, good attendees.
You're on top of the class for attendees, absolutely.
Maybe not punctuality on my part, but attending, yeah.
The same with this today.
It's funny actually. Bev and Catherine.
I was 1 minute late.
Bev and Catherine usually join, and they're like, "Sorry, we had to cook our own dinner," making out like their mum's an absolute lazy woman who won't cook them dinner. Bev goes, "No, I had to cook dinner again," and Catherine would usually cook herself something like bread. And Bev sometimes
Toast.
a bit more extravagant, but it does make me laugh when they turn up late. Hannah's very punctual. She'll be on the call.
You're going to get me in trouble. My mum's a wonderful cook.
Your mum is a wonderful cook. I amen to that.
You're going to get me in big trouble.
I'll tell you who else is a great cook. Hannah's mum. I had
She
some
is.
lemon cake yesterday. It's my
You
favourite.
got some?
Yeah.
I can still smell what she's cooking
It's
in
amazing.
this room.
Absolutely amazing. Yeah, we've got a cafe that goes every week actually at the church. I'm sure you guys know about it now, but that will continue even though we're in tier 2 and hopefully not going up a tier. Your future, ladies, because I'm sure you would have had a vision as to how you felt God was guiding you post uni. Is that still on course, do you think, or do you think your plans are changing because of COVID?
I wouldn't say mine have changed. Mine changed more pre-uni, just with the course and that I was given wasn't exactly what I wanted, but we roll with it.
Yeah.
But I still think post-uni my plans are roughly the same. Probably just with most jobs there might be more like working from home, not necessarily for COVID reasons, but just as people find it a lot easier to balance life.
Yeah. Bev?
See, I'm not really sure exactly what I want to do after uni, so it's a bit tricky. I mean, with COVID, I had more time to look into things, so there's some masters that I'm looking at.
Okay.
So it gave me time to research and think about it. I'm still not sure. I don't know.
So you weren't sure before you went?
No, I wouldn't say I was sure. There's a couple of masters, particularly at King's, that I like the look of, but I don't know. I really am not sure. I'm afraid I'm quite indecisive in that regard.
Well, I think you both know that God's got a plan for you both, and that's great. And I'm really pleased to hear actually that your faith has stayed strong throughout the last 6-7 months. I've heard so many stories of people's faith getting stronger and turning to prayer, and I think the prayer course has really helped both of you with that. We've already done 2 sessions actually. The third one will be next Tuesday, but I'm really pleased, and you two represent the other students that aren't here today that are in the same year at you as uni. You've got Kyra, we got Scott James and Jordan. I'm sure there's some others as well, all studying hard. But I'm really pleased that OBC's been able to be a light for you guys elsewhere. It's just so nice that our technology's at a point where we can reach people all around the world. This Sunday, though, girls, it's really important you tune in because it's the last service of the wonderful John Newman.
I won't be doing much, but
you're going to do a bit, aren't you? You're going to sing for the last time until we invite you back again.
That's right. Yes, I'm doing a few songs, and but I'll be back. Yeah,
you're looking forward to your new venture, though, aren't you?
I am. I spent the first night there at my new place 2 nights ago.
So
it was a bit weird, but
you're allowed a night in prison before you go in for good.
Just to see if I like the cell.
Oh, you're going to be missed. But this Sunday we're going to be doing something different, actually. And Hannah, Bev, I'm not sure if you know about it, but from the start of the service to allow more people into the church, the young people and the children are going to be in their groups from the start. But then towards the end of the service, I'm going to be walking around the church with the camera, saying hello to all the children and young people so that the church can see them and they can see the church and what's going on. That won't be available for people online. But it's another good example to see what we're doing.
Oh yes, you won't be able to see it. Sorry.
Yes. Oh yeah, you won't be able to see it. Shame. Yeah, it's got to be for safeguarding reasons. Obviously, we can't just put children on the screen.
Should we test it?
Can we?
This
test
is what you'll see. Ready? This is what you'll see. Safe, no visuals.
Whoa! Can you?
Oh no, of course you can't because you're on this one.
You can't see that. Can you hear us?
No, they can. Yeah, no, they can.
Yeah, sweet.
I can hear you.
Okay, you
But
can't.
nothing else.
Okay,
Anyway, that's what it'll be like.
So your mum, Bev, has
Yes.
just put "yeah" on Facebook. Now that could be seen as
That's very broad, isn't it?
it's a really broad "yeah."
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's more of a wait till you get back, Bev. You're in big trouble. Yeah.
I feel I need to explain about the food. We often get like a really big, nice Sunday lunch. Like it's really, really big and filling. So then, like in the evening, we'll sometimes make a quick something small ourselves. But it's because we've had a delicious, filling lunch.
Very good. Oh look, yeah.
And that is
Love the
it.
use of adjectives there, Beverly.
Yeah.
Did you get your mum a present this week? 'Cause it was
My
her
mum is
birthday
a good
this week,
cook,
wasn't it?
Genevieve. Oh,
My mum is a good cook. Jen's just put that.
have you hacked into her account, Bev?
How's this working?
I don't know what's going on.
It was your mum's birthday this week. Did you? I saw her in her birthday hat, the traditional
Yes.
birthday hat.
Oh.
Did you send her a gift? Organised?
Well, we'd already kind of bought a couple of small things beforehand. So my initial plan was actually I was going to come up and surprise my mum and not tell her that I was coming home. And I was like phoning my dad and we were like trying to organise it. And then with Corona and Tier 2, it just didn't end up working out.
Oh.
So that was my plan, was to surprise my mum. But beforehand we got her a little pin badge, a science pin badge for her school lanyard. And some Mozart balls, which are chocolate, that we bought her beforehand. We were going to buy her a proper present.
Mozart chocolate.
What's Mozart chocolate?
Whoa.
Mozart balls.
The best.
Is it?
Oh my goodness, Mozart. It's Mozart in there, isn't it?
Hang on, marzipan.
It's marzipan. That's what I meant.
No, not marzipan.
Mozart. Marzipan.
What is it called? Mozart chocolate?
Yeah.
Mozart balls, yeah.
You had them.
Amazing. Oh yeah.
Are they better than Lindor?
It's almost like
No,
having
no.
a cigar when you have one of them. So, not that I've had a cigar, but they're perfect.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't like them,
Don't
but my
you?
I
mum
don't like
does.
marzipan. That's probably the reason I don't like them.
Oh.
It's birthday week next week. I know for Hannah, she's got 3 birthdays in her family, all within 3 days of each other. It's your
Yep.
mum's, then your dad's, then yours, isn't it, next weekend?
Yeah.
And right slam back between them is my wife's. It's Sarah's 40th birthday. Who can believe that my wife's going to be 40?
Oh my goodness.
I know, with that grey hair, you'd think she's about...
She's
Doesn't
younger
look
than
it.
me.
I know she doesn't look it. She looks so much older. It's amazing. All right. Well, Hannah and Bev, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been really nice to see you, and I look forward to seeing you again on Tuesday to share and pray with you. And I know I speak on behalf of everyone at OBC when they wish you well with your studies and your ventures at uni, and they would love seeing your faces today. But from here at OBC, we say goodbye and God bless.
Goodbye.